Om Sri Sadguru Mujiji Ki Jai. Om Sri Sadguru Anantji Ki Jai. Start with a meditation. Welcome.
Straight away, notice that you don't have to make any effort or go anywhere to notice just the natural feeling of being that is present with you. It's not coming from somewhere else. It's simply here. Bring your attention only to this place, which already is here. I don't know if you have noticed, some of you may have seen it live, others may not, or you may have seen it on television. If you have ever noticed a stingray in the sea, quite often they're surrounded by a lot of tiny little fishes pecking around them. As you bring your attention only to the sense of presence here, lots of pecking little thoughts may come. Don't worry about them. Don't feel they must be somewhere else. Leave them there. There's a natural easiness with yourself like this. Perhaps the attention by habit wants to drift towards some activity, like what will you do later today, or what's going on at home or something. Notice this, but stay only in the noticing. Don't follow any thought. Just be here. You're not trying to get in position to do something else, to move on to some other thought or some place or some intention. You're simply here. And your sense of being here and that natural feeling of being inside, they're one and the same. There's no separation. Notice this. Whatever is felt in the body, just be aware of it. Don't analyze. Look, but don't connect. Stay like this. There's a natural feeling, as I said, of being. It may be felt just in that sense, I am. There's a completeness about this feeling, I am. There's no descriptions about it. It does not belong to past or future or even to present. It's just the sense of presence. Stay with this. If you feel a feeling of sleepiness or tiredness in your body, it's okay. Don't identify with this. you're also observing this. Whatever images may come in the mind, they are just images on the screen of consciousness. They do not affect you. The screen on which images are projected. If there is a huge fire on the screen is not burnt by it. If there's a waterfall, the screen will not be wet. Don't hold on to any idea or image about who you are. Don't describe yourself. Don't project. Don't create. Don't imagine. It's not needed. Notice that effortlessness. You're not in a state of belief, even trust. What is being noticed requires no effort. In itself, has no effort. Effortless. This is your natural being. Even the sense, I am, that subtle knowledge or knowingness, beyond even the saying, I am, that feeling, I am, melts also into being. There's nothing saying, I am. Notice also you're not in a trance. You're not somewhere else. This is meaningless for you. Simply, naturally, I'm here. There is no one who is benefiting from being here. There's no world waiting for you to come back. Simply, you're here. There's nothing to control. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to change. There's neither higher nor lower for you. Just your natural being by itself, unassociated, informationless. You're neither doing nor undoing. Notice this. Notice the sense I. It is also only a sensation in this. There is no need to try and visualize any image here. It's not a game you play. Be only in your being. All associations come later. Questions such as, how can I stay here, are completely meaningless. For whom are they who will come and go from here? These are mere ideas. In this natural state of being, you can move about in your body quite naturally, happily. This remains unaffected. You can notice this. There's nothing to control, maintain, project, catch hold of. Only natural functioning, unfolding by itself. It is not a belief system. It is not a system. If you have to answer the phone, you cannot come out of this. This is just a thought. If you meet someone and a conversation takes place, it doesn't take you out of this. That would just be a thought. If such thoughts are believed, then they become your experience. Where is the beginning of this? Where is the end? Who are you here? What descriptions can fit you? Do not hold on to any image or memory about who you are or think you are or should be. This is your natural mind, natural being. If the mind, in the form of thoughts, should suddenly appear loudly, it makes no difference to this. Unless you think that it makes a difference to this. So in a moment or two, I'm going to ask you, you can open your eyes when you want. It will make no difference. you think it does, it will feel like this. Do not be afraid of thoughts. You do not need to identify with thoughts to use thoughts. Notice how your life can unfold in its natural ambient play. And inwardly, in this place, this is not other than your own self. This remains as it is. Now as you open your eyes, you will see that the quality of inner silence and presence remains like a subtle energy inside this body. Each time you turn your attention in this way, you will notice this beautiful, peaceful energy. Get used to it. And gradually, this current of joy and peace will remain unbroken in you. Don't try and tell anybody about it. When your mind is in a natural state of being, you will notice that you don't have to think so much, prepare so much. The feeling of anxiety, restlessness will not be so strong for you. The more you focus your attention in this way, the easier everything becomes. The lighter your life will feel. Again, you will notice that something feels more like a spontaneous existence. What you have tasted and allowed yourself to experience in these few minutes, moments, thousands of books and words have been trying to convey. This which is wordless and nameless and unchanging and full of joy.
Chapter 38. Spiritual practice is will asserted and reasserted. Questioner. The Westerners who occasionally come to see you are faced with a peculiar difficulty. The very notion of a liberated man, a realized man, a self-knower, a God-knower, a man beyond the world, is unknown to them. All they have in their Christian culture is the idea of a saint, a pious man, law-abiding, God-fearing, fellow-loving, prayerful, sometimes prone to ecstasies, and confirmed by a few miracles. The very idea of jnani is foreign to Western culture, something exotic, rather unbelievable. Even when his existence is accepted, he is looked at with suspicion as a case of self-induced euphoria caused by strange physical postures and mental attitudes. The very idea of a new dimension in consciousness seems to them implausible and improbable. What will help them is the opportunity of hearing a jnani relate his own experience of realization, its causes and beginnings, its progress and attainments, and its actual practice in daily life. Much of what he says may remain strange, even meaningless, yet there will remain a feeling of reality, an atmosphere of actual experiencing, ineffable, yet very real, a center from which an exemplary life can be lived. Maharaj. The experience may be incommunicatable. Can one communicate an experience? It looks like here it's something's happened with the feed. Let me ask. If you, oh good, it's back, okay. I'll ask the question again. Maharaj, or the statement from Maharaj. The experience may be incommunicatable. Can one communicate an experience? Questioner. Yes, if one is an artist. It keeps doing that. I'm asking, are you losing the broadcast? So if you see this, No, we can see and hear you fine, not losing anything, beloved. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So Maharaj's response is, the experience may be incommunicatable. Can one communicate an experience? Questioner. Yes, if one is an artist. The essence of art is communication of feeling, of experience. Maharaj. To receive communication, you must be receptive. Questioner. Of course, there must be a receiver, but if the transmitter does not transmit, of what use is the receiver? Maharaj. The jnani belongs to all. He gives himself tirelessly and completely to whomever comes to him. If he is not a giver, he is not a jnani. Whatever he has, he shares. Questioner, but can he share what he is? Maharaj, you mean, can he make others into jnanis? Yes and no. No, since jnanis are not made. They realize themselves as such when they return to their source, their real nature. I cannot make you into what you already are. All I can tell you is the way I traveled and invite you to take it. Questioner, this does not answer my question. I have in mind the critical and skeptical Westerner who denies the very possibility of higher states of consciousness. Recently, drugs have made a breach in his disbelief without affecting his materialistic outlook. Drugs or no drugs, the body remains the primary fact and the mind is secondary. Beyond the mind, they see nothing. From Buddha onwards, the state of self-realization was described in negative terms as not this, not that. Is it inevitable? It is not possible to illustrate it, if not describe it. I admit that no verbal description will do when the state described is beyond words. Yet it is also within words. Poetry is the art of putting the inexpressible into words. Maharaj, there is no lack of religious poets. Turn to them for what you want. As far as I am concerned, my teaching is simple. Trust me for a while and do what I tell you. If you persevere, you will find that your trust was justified. Questioner, and what to do with people who are interested but cannot trust? Maharaj, if they could stay with me, they would come to trust. Once they trust me, they will follow my advice and discover for themselves. Questioner, it is not for the training that I am asking just now, but for its results. You had both. You are willing to tell us all about the training, but when it comes to results, you refuse to share. Either you tell us that your state is beyond words, or that there is no difference, and where we see it, that where we see a difference, you see none. In both cases, we are left without any insight into your state. Maharaj, how can you have insight into my state when you are without insight into your own? When the very instrument of insight is lacking, Is it not important to find it first? It is like a blind man wanting to learn painting before he regains his eyesight. You want to know my state, but do not know the state of your wife or servant? Questioner. I am asking for some hints only. Maharaj. Well, I gave you a very significant clue. Where you see differences, I don't. To me, it is enough. If you think it is not enough, I can only repeat. It is enough. Think it out deeply and you will come to see what I see. You seem to want instant insight, forgetting that the instant is always preceded by a long preparation. The fruit falls suddenly, but the ripening takes time. After all, when I talk of trusting me, it is only for a short time, just enough time to start you moving. The more earnest you are, the less belief you need, for soon you will find your faith in me justified. You want me to prove to you that I am trustworthy. How can I, and why should I? After all, what I am offering you is the operational approach so current in Western science. When a scientist describes an experiment and its results, usually you accept his statements on trust and repeat his experiment as he described it. Once you get the same or similar results, you need not trust him anymore. You trust your own experience. Encouraged, you proceed to arrive in and end at substantially identical results. Questioner. The Indian mind was made ready for metaphysical experiments by culture and nurture. To the Indian, phrases like direct perception of the supreme reality make sense and bring out responses from the very depths of his being. They mean little to a Westerner, even when brought up in his own variety of Christianity. He does not think beyond conformity with God's commandments and Christ's injunctions. First-hand knowledge of reality is not only beyond ambition, but also beyond conception. Some Indians tell me, hopeless the Westerner will not, for he cannot. Tell him nothing about self-realization. Let him live a useful life and earn a rebirth in India. Only then will he have a chance. Some say, reality is for all equally, but not all are equally endowed with the capacity to grasp it. The capacity comes with desire, which will grow into devotion and ultimately into total self-dedication. With integrity and earnestness and iron determination to overcome all obstacles, the Westerner has the same chance as the Oriental man. All he needs is the rousing of interest. To rouse his interest in self-knowledge, he needs to be convinced about its advantages. Maharaj, you believe it is possible to transmit a personal experience? Questioner, I do not know. You speak of unity, identity of the seer with the seen. When all is one, communication should be feasible. Maharaj, to have the direct experience of a country, one must go and live there. Don't ask for the impossible. A man's spiritual victory, no doubt, benefits mankind, but to benefit another individual, a close personal relationship is required. Such relation is not accidental, and not everybody can claim it. On the other hand, the scientific approach is for all. Trust, test, taste. What more do you need? Why push the truth down unwilling throats? It cannot be done anyhow. Without a receiver, what can the giver do? Questioner. The essence of art is to use the outer form to convey an inner experience. Of course, one must be sensitive to the inner before the outer can be meaningful. How does one grow in sensitivity? Whichever way you put it, it comes to the same, says Maharaj. Givers, there are many. Where are the takers? Questioner. Can you not share with your own sensitivity? Maharaj. Yes, I can, but sharing is a two-way street. Two are needed in sharing. Who is willing to take what I am willing to give? Questioner. You say we are one. Is this not enough? Maharaj. I am one with you. Are you one with me? If you are, you will not ask questions. If you are not, if you do not see what I see, what can I do beyond showing you the way to improve your vision? Questioner. What you cannot give is not your own. Maharaj, I claim nothing as my own. When the I is not, where is the mine? When the I is not, where is the mine? Two people look at a tree. One sees the fruit hidden among the leaves, and the other does not. Otherwise, there is no difference between the two. The one that sees knows that with a little attention, the other will also see. But the question of sharing does not arise. Believe me, I am not close-fisted, holding back your share of reality. On the contrary, I am all yours. Eat me and drink me. But while you repeat verbally, give, give, you do nothing to take what is offered. I am showing you a short and easy way of being able to see what I see You cling to your old habits of thought, feeling, and action, and put all the blame on me. I have nothing which you do not have. Self-knowledge is not a piece of property to be offered and accepted. It is a new dimension altogether, where there is nothing to give or take. Questioner. Give us at least some insight into the content of your mind while you live your daily life. To eat, to drink, to talk, to sleep, how does it feel at your end? Maharaj, the common things of life, I experience them just as you do. The difference lies in what I do not experience. I do not experience fear or greed, hate or anger. I ask nothing, refuse nothing, keep nothing. In these matters, I do not compromise. Maybe this is the outstanding difference between us. I will not compromise, and I am true to myself, while you are afraid of reality. Questioner, from the Westerner's point of view, there is something disturbing in your ways. You sit in a corner all by yourself, all by oneself, and keep on repeating, I am God, God I am. It appears to be a plain madness. How does one convince a Westerner that such practices lead to supreme sanity? Maharaj, the man who claims to be God and the man who doubts it, both are deluded. They talk in their dream. Questioner, if all is dreaming, what is waking? Maharaj, how to describe the waking state in dreamland language? Words do not describe it, they are only symbols. Questioner, again the same excuse that words cannot convey reality. Maharaj, If you want words, I shall give you some of the ancient words of power. Repeat any of them ceaselessly. They can work wonders. Questioner, are you serious? Would you tell a Westerner to repeat Om or Ram or Hare Krishna ceaselessly though he completely lacks the faith and conviction born of the right cultural and religious background? Without confidence of fervor, repeating mechanically the same sounds, will he ever achieve anything? Maharaj, why not? It is the urge, the hidden motive that matters, not the shape it takes. Whatever he does, if he does it for the sake of finding his own real self, will surely bring him to himself. Questioner, no need of faith in the efficacy of the means? The questioner says, no need of faith in the efficacy of the means in regards to saying japa or saying a mantra for someone who doesn't really know what that means because they weren't born in the culture, Eastern culture. Maharaj says, no need of faith, which is but expectation of results. Here the action only counts. Whatever you do for the sake of truth will take you to truth. Only be earnest and honest. The shape it takes hardly matters. Such grace. I'll read that again. No need of faith, which is but expectation of results. Here the action only counts. Whatever you do for the sake of truth will take you to truth. Only be earnest and honest. The shape it takes hardly matters. Questioner, then where is the need of giving expression to one's longing? Maharaj, no need. Doing nothing is as good. Mere longing, undiluted by thought and action, pure, concentrated longing, will take you speedily to your goal. It is the true motive that matters, not the manner. Remembering, oh, thank you for coming. Remembering I don't know who said this. Might have been Bhagwan. It was something like the desire for truth will consume all other desires. Reminds me of what Maharaj is saying now. That is the true motive that matters, not the manner. Not what we do to discover the truth, but the heart, the longing itself is what matters. Questioner, unbelievable. How can dull repetition and boredom verging on despair be effective? Maharaj, the very facts of repetition, of struggling on, and of endurance and perseverance in spite of boredom and despair and complete lack of conviction are really crucial. They are not important by themselves, but the sincerity behind them is all important. There must be a push from within and a pull from without. Questioner, my questions are typical of the West. There, people think in terms of cause and effect, means and goals. They do not see what causal connection there can be between a particular word and the absolute reality. Maharaj, none whatsoever. But there is a connection between the word and its meaning, between the action and its motive. Spiritual practice is will asserted and reasserted. He who does not have the daring will not accept the real even when offered. Unwillingness born out of fear is the only obstacle. I'll read it again. So the questioner says, my questions are typical of the West. There, people think in terms of cause and effect, means and goals. They do not see that causal connection there can be between a particular word and the absolute reality. Maharaj says, none whatsoever. But there is a connection between the word and its meaning, between the action and its motive. Spiritual practice is will asserted and reasserted. He who does not have the daring will not accept the real even when offered. Unwillingness born out of fear is the only obstacle. Questioner, what is there to be afraid of? Maharaj, the unknown, the not being, not knowing, not doing, the beyond. What is there to be afraid of? Maharaj says the unknown, the not being, not knowing, not doing, the beyond. Questioner, you mean to say that while you can share the manner of your achievement, you cannot share the fruits? Maharaj, of course I can share the fruits, and I am doing so all the time. But mine is a silent language. Learn to listen and understand. Questioner, I do not see how one can begin without conviction. Maharaj, stay with me for some time or give me your mind. Give your mind to what I say and do, and conviction will dawn. Stay with me for some time or give your mind to what I say and do, and conviction will dawn. Questioner, not everybody has the chance of meeting you. Maharaj, meet your own self. Be with your own self. Listen to it. Obey it. Cherish it. Keep it in mind ceaselessly. You need no other guide. As long as your urge for truth affects your daily life, all is well with you. Live your life without hurting anybody. Harmlessness is a most powerful form of yoga, and it will take you speedily to your goal. This is what I call Nisarga yoga, the natural yoga. It is the art of living in peace and harmony, and friendliness and love. The fruit of it is happiness, uncaused and endless. Questioner, still all this presupposes some faith. Maharaj, turn within and you will come to trust yourself. In everything else, confidence comes with experience. Questioner, when a man tells me that he knows something I do not know, I have the right to ask, what is it that you know that I do not know? Maharaj, and if he tells you that it cannot be conveyed in words? So he says, when a man tells me that he knows something I do not know, I have the right to ask, what is it that you know that I do not know? Maharaj, and if he tells you that it cannot be conveyed in words? Questioner, then I watch him closely and try to make out. Maharaj, and this is exactly what I want you to do. Be interested. Give attention until a current of mutual understanding is established. Then the sharing will be easy. Warm water into warm water. As a matter of fact, all realization is only sharing. You enter a wider consciousness and share in it. Unwillingness to enter and to share is the only hindrance. I never talk of differences, for to me there are none. You do, so it is up to you to show them to me. By all means, show me the differences. For this, you will have to understand me, but then you will no longer talk of differences. Understand one thing well, and you have arrived. What prevents you from knowing is not the lack of opportunity, but the lack of ability to focus in your mind what you want to understand. If you could but keep in mind what you do not know, it would reveal to you its secrets. But if you are shallow and impatient, not earnest enough to look and wait, you are like a child crying for the moon. I'll read that again. I hope you can hear with the dog in the other room. You can hear okay. So the questioner is saying, when I don't understand something, I watch closely and try to make out. Maharaj says, and this is exactly what I want you to do. Be interested, give attention, until a current of mutual understanding is established. The sharing will be easy. As a matter of fact, all realization is only sharing. You enter a wider consciousness and share in it. Unwillingness to enter and to share is the only hindrance. I never talk of differences, for to me there are none. You do, so it is up to you to show them to me. By all means, show me the differences. For this, you will have to understand me, but then you will no longer talk of differences. Understand one thing well, and you have arrived. What prevents you from knowing is not the lack of opportunity, but the lack of ability to focus in your mind what you want to understand. If you could but keep in mind what you do not know, it would reveal to you its secrets. But if you are shallow and impatient, not earnest enough to look and wait, you are like a child crying for the moon. Om Sri Sadguru Mujiji Ki Jai. Om Sri Sadguru Anantaji Ki Jai. Om Namah Shivaya.